Christine Connor, the owner of Amelie Scott Designs, and we have a new table runner out for Easter. That's what it looks like. We've got a tulip design that's embroidered. We've got a cute little bunny with some crocus flowers. And we have an Easter lily that's also appliqué. And then we have some eggs. We have double eggs, single eggs, and we even have a little decorative egg. But what I want to talk to you about today is all the custom quilting that goes around our table runners. And as you can see, it's got a little tulip pattern with Easter eggs in it. It's very consistent through the whole pattern, through the whole table runner. And I'm going to show you today how to do the custom quilting on a baby lock machine, a Pfaff machine, and a Bernina machine. I'm going to put a placeholder in between each of these videos so that if you want to fast forward until you see the placeholder, it'll be like a title card that says quilting on the Bernina, quilting on the baby lock. Just forward through that till you find the machine that is closest to your make and model of machine. And but please watch the video all the way to the end, because sometimes Lexi does a high five or says bye-bye, and she's my dog right now. She's in a downstay right here next to me so she doesn't bark like crazy. And okay, so we're going to get started. We're going to start with the baby lock Solaris machine. See you in a bit. For the quilting purposes, I'm going to be using my chocolate bunny table runner. Now, what I've done is I've put in some really bright blue thread in the top because I want the quilting to show, at least somewhat. And then I have a pale blue for the back because my backing is pale blue. I'm also using a snap hoop, so I've got the bottom portion of the hoop laying in the machine. If you don't have a snap hoop monster, you need to get one. They're awesome. And I've already pulled up the design into my machine, and it's set for embroidery. So on baby lock machines, and brother machines, the machine always brings the design in wherever the center is. And if you notice, I have a little white dot here for where the center is on my bunny. I ask that you mark your center before you sew the table runner together, because we want to make sure that the center is center to the design. And sometimes when you sew, if you're not quite right on, then your center might be a little left, a little right, a little up, a little down. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to place the needle so it's more or less over the center of the machine. Then I'm going to take the top portion of the hoop, and it is magnetic, so it's going to want to snap down, and I'm going to place it over the top portion of the hoop. Now, or the bottom portion of the hoop. What I love about snap hoops or magnetic hoops is, and I'm feeling for the bottom portion. You can see probably that this is not quite straight, it's crooked. So this is what I like about these hoops, is I can actually tug a little bit to bring it so that it's even. And I've got all these little rulers and guides, so I have 8 centimeters here, 7 centimeters here, and I can just make sure that I'm on the 7 centimeter in the back by just doing a little pull and tug. And I am a little crooked back here, so let me just straighten that out. So once I've got the design all nice and straight in the hoop, then we're going to move over to the machine. And I'm going to keep turning off the camera and turning it back on, because when you try to move a tripod and a camera, or a camera that's sitting on a tripod, the camera or the speaker for the camera is right there, and it just sounds like 1,000 times squeakier and louder than it really is in real life. So I'm going to turn this off and we'll move over in a minute. Okay, so here I have the screen, and first of all I want to move the needle got off center because I was futzing with the hoop and straightening it out. So the needle's pretty close to where the center is, but it's not quite spot on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move the needle right over that little dot on the fabric. So I'm going to hit the layout, and that's where move button is, and then I'm going to use these arrows to go probably over and down a bit. And what this is doing is it's actually moving the needle on the machine. Okay, so I'm still hitting my needle. You can always bring the wheel of your foot down to see. Yep, that's really good. Okay, there's also on this machine, there's also a laser light, so if I wanted to hit the laser light, I could just do that as well, and it provides a nice little crosshair. I doubt if you can see it, but I can see it very well on my machine. Okay, so then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to double check, because this machine is so awesome, I'm going to double check everything by actually scanning the design or scanning the fabric. So when I scan the fabric, I'm going to hit the camera icon, and then I'm just going to say scan, and it's going to say the frame will move to be scanned. And here you can see it scanning the fabric. It's going to do it one more time. It does 3 scans. Now when it's finished, it will show you where the design is going to be in relation to the bunny. And if I need to make any adjustments, like moving the design a little bit, left or right, up or down, I can do that by just closing this button. I'm back in the layout, and I can, actually I'm still in the move, but if I didn't go back to the move button, you just hit the layout move. For some reason I was already there, and I might bring that down a bit. And maybe over a bit. It won't let me go any further because I'm a little close to the hoop, but I think that's going to clear all the design, and that was just a little bit of fine tweaking. So now I can start the machine, and so I'm going to say okay here, and I'm actually going to start the machine now, and the quilting is going to stitch, hopefully, around the bunny. It should. And here we have our first bunny. It's been quilted. It really goes that fast. So if you want, you could just go and pull up the egg design next and bring it down and stitch around the egg, or you can continue on to the other chocolate bunny. I think I'm just going to go ahead and finish up my other chocolate bunny. So that's how you do it on the Baby Lock Solaris. We're going to stitch the quilting around the lily now on the Pfaff. So the first thing I really need to do is bring the design in. So I'm going to go to the USB icon, hit that button. I'm going to find my design. It's in here somewhere. There it is. The lily quilting. I'm going to press and hold, and it should come up. Great. There it is. Now I want to go to embroidery stitch out next, which is right down here, to set the design into embroidery. My hoop is going to move. I'm going to go ahead and hoop my design. I'm going to get this screen asking me if I got the right hoop, the foot, everything, yada yada. I'm going to say okay. And now I'm ready to stitch out. Now the one thing you'll notice with the Pfaff is the crosshair is right up here, because that's actually where the design starts, okay? Remember, like if you watch the Baby Lock video, it started in the center. So we have to put this design in the center. That's the first thing we need to do. So we're going to go to our precise positioning. And that's really, really simple. I'm going to just tap that cross in the middle over here, and you see now the crosshair, the little green crosshair has gone to the middle. And now I want to move it, so I'm going to lock it. So this is your lock button. There's a little butterfly and there's number 2 next to it. We're going to hit the 2 and lock it. Now you see that crosshair has changed and it looks like a crosshair with a circle around it. That tells me it is locked in place. Now and then I'm just going to use these arrows up and down, left and right to move the needle so it's over the center. So as you can see right here, let me turn this off. As you can see right here, you can see my blue dots back there, so I'm going to have to hit those arrows quite a few times to get the needle back there. So I'm going to do that now. Now here you can see my needle is right over. I can do a little check. Yep, it's good, and I am happy with that. So now I'm just going to say okay and start my embroidery machine. And you notice the design moves up to the top where I said it started. We just need to get it in the center so that we could line it up. So here we go. And that's how you quilt on the Pfaff icon. Alright, I'm ready to quilt around the tulip now. The first thing you'll notice is it's upside down because I want most of the fabric on the left side of my project and not all jammed up in the throat, over here in the throat. So first thing I need to do is I need to flip my design upside down in my machine. So let me turn this off. Okay, so I need to flip my design upside down, so I'm going to go to Edit, the Information button, and to the Rotate, and I want to rotate this 90 and then 90 again. So now my design should be upside down. Yes, my tulips are all upside down. So I know my design now is upside down. So the next thing I need to do is I need to find the center of the design, because if I go to stitch it out, you will see that the crosshair is showing me this is where the design is going to start and go around. So we're going to go back to the Information button, and we're going to go to the Check button. You may have to, scroll up and down to get to it. It's right down there at the bottom. And I'm just going to simply select the center icon. That's going to show me where the design center is in the machine. Now, while I'm up here, let me see if I can do this without squeaky. There are buttons, and the top one goes will move the needle left and right, and the bottom one will go up and down. So what I want to do, I want to use those knobs so that I can get the needle right over that little dot that I drew. And again, I can bring my needle down to check from time to time. So, ooh, am I good? Go a little bit more. Alright, now I know that that is where the center of the design is. I just want to tell you something else too. On the Bernina, I used my grid to help me keep the design straight in the hoop. So if you're using the large oval, it's going to be very tight. So you'll want to definitely put that grid on so you can get it really close. And same with the midi too. Alright, so Now that we're done with that, we're going to close that up or follow your breadcrumbs back. I'm out of edit. I'm going to hit the start the machine, and we're going to hit the machine and start it.